There are so many isekais nowadays, but you know what they're missing? A protagonist who's wet. The Water Magician is a currently airing anime that you probably haven't heard a lot about. With a basic title like that and an incredibly simple baseline premise, I don't think anyone could blame you for not noticing this show. With so many banger shows airing literally right now, is it worth your time to pick up yet another generic isekai? In short, probably. But stick around for a bit and let me tell you what The Water Magician is all about. Our story begins with our main character, Ryo, a 19-year-old who recently died to our favorite recurring character, Big Truck. After his encounter with our favorite antagonist, we find him in the afterlife, talking to what is defined as an angel. This angel explains to Ryo that he's going to be reincarnated, asking him what type of life he'd like to live in his second go-around. Ryo has one request: a quiet life, with no overarching grand purpose or adventure, just a simple life where he can pass his time doing what he desires. And this wish is granted. Ryo is reincarnated into the world of Phi, which is known mathematically as the golden ratio, by the way. It doesn't really come up, but that is a thing. A fantasy-like setting where roughly 20% of the people can inherently utilize magic. Ryo is told that he's going to be part of that percentage, with a distinct affinity for water magic and the inherent skill of eternal youth, meaning that he won't physically age, not making him immortal, but definitely being an unforeseen bonus. So we have our little setup here. Ryo being transported to a new world to live in a quaint cabin, just practicing his magic, straight chillin'. But things aren't that simple. This new world isn't some safe haven paradise. There are monsters around, and a lot of the luxuries that we use in our day-to-day lives aren't there for our MC. But it's problems like these that I believe make the series interesting. Something as simple as Ryo trying to make warm water for a bath becomes a whole thing. It's fun to watch. The show ends up jumping ahead roughly 20 years into the future, with Ryo still having the same day-to-day life, with the only real noticeable change being his progression as a magician. He's notably stronger with his magic, doing things that were once impossible for him without even thinking now. His simple life of relaxation is upended when he comes across the wreckage of a ship on the coast near his home. Here he finds Abel in the wreck, saving his life in the process. Abel is a warrior from a somewhat faraway city, a city that he needs to get back to. His adventuring party is waiting for him. I think you can all see where this is going. Ryo accompanies him on his trek, showcasing his strength and goofy personality along the way. He's going to become an adventurer, not for the actual adventure aspect, but more out of curiosity. His comfy life was just a precursor, an introduction to a world that he's now free to explore at his leisure. And that's an introduction to the Water Magician. Listen, you get what you pay for here. He's a magician and he uses water. Can he use other magic? I don't know. You would think he can, but all I know for sure is that he can definitely use water. Now, look, are there better shows in this exact category out there? Yes. Is this a show that's worth picking up if you're into the genre? Also yes. While I don't think there's anything astonishing going on within this series as of yet, it's a fun and relaxed watch with a baseline premise that I personally see potential in, although the pacing has been a bit sporadic, with the MC going from getting his powers to becoming a semi-godlike magic user within like 2 episodes. However, I think the way these things are being portrayed is at a minimum moderately enjoyable. There are some interesting concepts and tidbits that will get you through what can otherwise be seen as generic fantasy nonsense. While the beginning may feel wonky to us from a viewership standpoint, with its initially murky time skip, I like that there's at least some level of justification for his spike in power. It wasn't an overnight thing where he's just an inherent genius. He consistently gets better over the course of years, although we don't really see those years. As the series is progressing, there are a lot of plot threads being introduced that I find to be mold-breaking and compelling. For instance, it's hinted that there's a legendary pyrokinesis user who greatly impacted the world previously. We as the audience can infer that this was also probably someone who was reincarnated in a very similar situation to our MC. It's storytelling and plot threads like this that keep you watching. On top of this, there are creative uses for magic, like Ryo utilizing his magic to create a magnifying glass out of ice, to then use to create fire. Tell me that isn't creative. I mean, come on. The Water Magician is an isekai show without the normal nonsense that comes along with it. It gets you right into it with a compelling hook and keeps you interested enough to keep watching. It's a chill show that has some really good moments, and in a genre as saturated as the isekai one, there's a lot worse out there than this. As the story morphs and develops into something beyond its initial premise, I truly believe it has the potential to be something great, and I think you, the viewer, would be doing yourself a disservice by not at least giving this show a shot. Hey everyone, I just want to say thank you if you made it this far into the video. I really appreciate it. Do you agree that The Water Magician has been solid thus far? Or do you think it doesn't deserve the praise I'm giving it? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. And as always, have a great day.